Welcome to Market Makers, everyone. This is my third video I'm making for you today. This video is on gold and silver. And if you look at the chart on my screen, I shared this chart on my X profile. Give me a follow at Market Canary back in, I don't know, late March, early April. I want to give you guys an update what's happening in the metal space and then really zoom in on the silver cycle because that has been the hottest commodity. This is what everybody's making videos about, silver 300, silver 500, gold 10,000, gold 50,000. So let's just cover what's happening in the metals. I've been involved in metals since 97. So I've been involved in metals a very long time. Looking at my screen, guys, this is going to be a lot of market symmetry. We are coming up to a key pivot point in the marketplace, which is October historically for metals, okay? So let's go ahead and just look at some symmetry here in the market. Going back to 2011, had your big peak, had your massive sell-off. This gave you your rounding base. You could call this a cup and handle. There's a bunch of names for this pattern, but you can call it a cup and handle. And then you elevate it up to the next level, chop sideways, and then you broke out, and that's all she wrote, and it's been historic ever since, right? When you look at the symmetry in the marketplace off your 2015 low, exactly 100% to get up to the handle, okay? I think the price is going up to this 41.76. This is gold futures to maybe 42.50. Right in that range is where I'm looking for this to peak. And this gives you a lot of symmetry, 100% up off of your 2020 high here, August 2020. Gives you a 100% move, gives you 300% off the 2015 low. And it happens to land at the 300% expansion here on Fibonacci. So that's a key level to watch here in gold. We're going to zoom into some smaller time frames, but watch 41.76, 42.50 on gold futures, important level to watch. If we look at this on a 3-week chart, you have the volume to match it. You're very, very overbought right now. And this is dangerous when you start getting overbought. Looking at the canary, you're higher than you were, by the way, over here in 2020. Okay, so when you had that retracement in 2020, just keep in mind, you dropped the market 22%. So just be aware of this. You're overbought, but there's a lot of euphoria, and you want to see euphoria. It's how you get the big blow off top moves. Okay, so let's go ahead and just zoom in here on the weekly time frame. Let me see what we got on the weekly. That was a 3-week before. You can see you're very overbought on the canary. You have the volume to match it. You have the momentum, the higher lows and momentum. So again, I have these higher level targets, but October historically is a key pivot. Just look at my screen. So let's just go back to 2020? Early November, right? The 2nd of November, 2020. You get a sell-off of 15% just after October. You look at late September, September 27th, you get a nice rally of 20%. You look at October, mid-October 2022, 27% rally off of the low, okay? So you have October forming bottoms and tops in the gold and metal market overall. What about October 2023? The 2nd, October 2023, weekly time frame here, big rally, 54%. You rally to October 2024, get a 9% retracement. And now we're coming up to the pivot point here towards the mid part of October into early November once again. And we have some key ratios coming up in the gold market. Let's drop this down to like a 3-hour. This is a CFD chart. So let's look at this on the 3-hour. 41.32 would be your 300% range there on the 3-hour. So we'll look at 41.50, 42.50 on the XAG as well, looking at a CFD chart, okay? So let's just look at some near-term range expansion where we have what we're doing. Are we hitting resistance anywhere that we can see? If we look at this here on Fibonacci, we got 39.70 at the 1272 for an ABC type move up. And this is where you're hitting right now, 39.70. Above that's 4,063. And we look at the 200% puts you up 41.66 on the CFD chart. And there's that 300% at 41.32. So again, just looking at the levels as we've been crossing them, looking at this on a 3-hour chart, I mean, everything's going to appear overbought because of how parabolic gold has been, and certainly you're overbought on the 3-hour chart. Momentum still strong. You still have volume support as well. So just watching these levels, price and time. It's a marriage of price and time. 39.70, you hit it, you want to flip it, then you're going up to that key psychological level of 4,000, and then watch that 41.50, 42.50 range on gold. See if it holds up, because you could be setting up for a very nice retracement in gold if the cycle holds true. If we look at silver, we can see silver here as well. I'm going to look at this on a weekly time frame. Very overbought. You're very overbought in silver. Now, back in, what was this, 2020 as when you got this overbought in silver, you then did a 43% retracement, okay? You're exactly about just a couple of points away from hitting that overbought level on the canary. You got the volume support. You certainly have the momentum support. So again, when you're talking about when is a top coming in, you're looking at things before they happen, all right? This is what you're doing with Fibonacci. You're looking at potential resistance zones for the market. If you look at your 2011 high over here on the left, this is silver futures, $49.82. You're at 48.47 right now as I'm recording this. And of course, you can easily take out that 2011 high. I'm looking for silver to find resistance here going into the back half of October, early part of November, between $52 and $59. That's where I think silver is going to struggle, okay? So I want to see if it gets up to 52. If it can flip it, then I'm looking between 52 and 59 on silver. This would be historic. It'll max out the indicators as well. And key point, you're taking out the 2011 high. $50 is a key psychological level in silver. If we look at silver, the cycle that I'm really tracking here on silver is a pi cycle. And now this is quite interesting to me, and I've talked about this before, but you did a perfect half of a pi cycle from your high in 2021 all the way down to your low here in 2022. You're within 48 hours of a half of a pi cycle perfection, okay? 575 days. If you look to the upside, you are on Monday, October 20th, okay? Monday, October 20th is a complete pi cycle from your 2022 low. So again, looking at my targets here, $52.37, $59.33, watching silver, watching it push up. This is the key cycle, in my opinion, to see if this plays out. I only have one iteration, not a big case study. But if this ends up playing out into a historic time for silver and gold, that October timeframe, early November timeframe is when you look for key pivots in the marketplace. And you saw this in silver. I showed you some pivots on gold, but just to show you one in silver, October 21st, right? Literally Monday, October 21st, 2024, silver hit a peak right at the 1272. It's tracking beautifully to the prices right at the 1272, and then it's sold off. Nice 18% retracement. So we want to watch this time period. It's a big time period in gold and silver. $52 is a key level. I want to see us cross that 50, cross the $50 level, take out the 2011 high, watch 52. If you can flip 52, watch 59. But again, as we approach this going through October, key time frames to watch. Let's see what the indicators are doing on a 3-day chart. Again, massively overbought. You got the volume support. You got the momentum. Very, very overbought. Important time to be watching the metals. A lot of euphoria in the metals, and they can make a top and they can drop quite quickly as well. So be watching the metals. If we look at silver here on an 8-hour chart, here's a zoomed in level. There's that 2011 high at 49. There's a 48 we just flipped, right? So you want to stay above this. And then there's the 52 just above that. And then, of course, above that is 59. So just tracking this as we're going through the levels, 8-hour time frame, and everything's going to be bullish and or overbought. And certainly that's what you have on the 8-hour time frame. So it's just a metal update, guys. Watch those key levels. 41.50, 42.50 on gold. Watch silver, flip 50, key psychological level, and then see if you can flip 52 or if that acts as resistance. If you can flip it, watch 59, and watch all this as we progress into the back half of October, early part of November. And, happy trading, everybody. Give me a follow on X and Market Canary.